I'm in a place of genuine interest. I'm engaged and with them in that, like I said, place of objectivity, receptive, open. That is listening.
From the Big Island of Hawaii, welcome to Aloha Speaks, home of Malama Aloha Pono by Alexander Noman, offering relief for all relationships with a focus on anger assessment and resolve.
Aloha. Alex here with Aloha Speaks once again with part 2 of the listening series. This one is with the topic of the last 2 out of 5, with the parentheses, kinds of listening. Now, there's a little bit of a correction that's needed for the part 1. There's going to be 2 parts of the review here, and the first part being the correction, in that the discussion of the diagram of the Malama Aloha Pono, talking about the circle that is separated into 6 segments. The point being made of that the segments are for the purpose of clarifying the differences and to focus on those different aspects, and yet they all happen at the same time. That's the point, that they all happen at the same time. But in the discussion, I was saying the listening was the number 3. I wasn't paying attention. It's actually the number 2. So, to be more specific, I'd like to clarify that the number 1 is the admit/honesty, which there is a lot to that segment that we're not going into. The listening, there's a lot to that segment. And the first point that I make about that in the notes is that in the workshops that I used to do, there were practical exercises that we used to do around what is being discussed here. So there's a lot to it. There's effort, and there's consciousness and practice, and so there's a lot to it. We're doing condensed versions here. That's number 2 segment. Number 3 is the assessment. So number 4 is on the unconscious, or I call it subconscious. And I skipped over the 5th segment, which is huge, on righting the wrongs. And here I am. I'm doing a mini righting the wrong. I mean, made a boo-boo there. That's it. I'm much deeper. It's a lot more significance than what I'm doing here to that segment. And then self-love. So those are the 6. Boom. Done. With that part of the review. Now, the review is only on the first 3 is only going to be for the purpose of the segue here into the last 2, listening to learn and learning to listen. As a reminder here that, okay, so we talked about the unlistening, sucking the energy, stepping on people, cutting them off. Okay. Not listening, basically not paying attention or just waiting for people or thinking I'm more important and what they're saying isn't important. Okay, those are not even listening at all, and the unlistening is a destructive kind. The kind of listening, which was the third one, is where there are, this is one that I do so often that just goes completely undetected, where I'm listening through filters of judgments and assumptions and emotions, where I'm hearing what I want to hear. I don't even know this is going on, but I'm walking away thinking I heard what the person said. I actually am in a place of listening, but not hearing what's being said, thinking I heard what's being said. Making stuff up, basically. Not even knowing it. I don't even know this is going on, so how do I find out? This is what we're coming to. Now, before we get there, there is a fourth that finally begins to be listening. So before we get into this, it's called listening to learn. The ideal result of all this possibility that comes from any effort, any consciousness put in this direction, is for the purpose of hearing my own self. I mean, that's the highest service I can do in this existence, is to listen to my true self, to my heart. What a service it is to the world to actually listen to others. Beautiful. That's high. The highest is to listen to my true self. So I just wanted to bring that in at the beginning, that the possibilities. Beautiful. So, in listening to learn, this is a place of where I'm objective, no longer in that subjective, judgmental place, assumptions, and I'm unattached. I don't have an agenda anymore. I have an empathy for the other person. I'm actually over there, even in a sense in their shoes. Like, I want to be, I'm in a place of genuine interest. I'm engaged and with them in that, like I said, place of objectivity, receptive, open. That is listening to learn from them. What am I going to gain? Because it can be anything. There's no way of knowing. And there, the opportunities are endless. Beautiful. It's not complicated. It's simple. The reason it's a challenge is only because maybe I'm not used to it. That's all. I haven't been doing it in my life. So it takes effort and it takes consciousness. I have a track record of being resistant to effort and consciousness. I just do. That doesn't change the fact, the reality, that when I place effort and consciousness, the reward is incredible. That it's undeniable. So the benefit is for me. Others benefit from it for sure, but no question that I do. Now, this is just the beginning. Because if I'm going to benefit a little bit, well, I like to benefit even more. So once I get started, I can take that listening to learn, that entire what was just discussed, and add something to it, to bump it into the learning to listen, then really learn to listen in a whole new realm that includes that, listening to learn, plus reading all that's not being said. What about what's not being said with the words? There's the voice fluctuations, the facial expressions, the body language that's going on. There's other things being said in the conversation as long as I'm face to face with the person. It's happening. I can see what's going on. Am I paying attention to that? And what's happening with those things is I have an intuition. Whether I use it or not, that's up to me. If I can take those words that I'm hearing, combine it with those voice fluctuations and body language and facial expressions and everything I'm seeing going on there, I can pick something more than what's being said up. And I can hear that. I can get what deeper message is being said because I'm really, really there with that person. That's an intimacy that has been lacking all through my life, not even aware that it has been available. Because I didn't care. I'm more into myself. I couldn't care less. Because I'm so self-centered. What a difference, especially with my kids. Wow. What doors that opens. Or with my significant other. But it doesn't stop there. It's in business relationships or in co-workers or even out in the world, in the stores and the bank, any people that I run into, that I see frequently. It's amazing the difference it makes because I can pick things up with my intuition. Now here's where things can go awry. How in the heck do I know I'm getting it right? Because I'm picking something extra up here. I don't even know if I'm actually hearing the words right, because am I being objective, or am I hearing through my filters? Because I can make an assumption that I'm being objective. I have habit patterns throughout my whole life, and wow, I can think something's happening and it's not. I know this from all the work I've done. The surefire way of knowing, and this isn't anything new. People call it active listening. And that means something different to different people. In here, in Malama Aloha Pono, it's called validation. So that there's no mistaking what it's going on. Asking straight out in my own words. Not repeating the other person's words, because that's like, oh, I'm listening and I'm going to memorize what they're saying. I'm going to say, so you said da 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 exactly the way they said it. No. It's taking in what they said and then, okay, so what I'm hearing, I got what you said was, boom, and delivering the message back to them. Did I get that right? Am I hearing you correctly? Using conversational terminologies, words, and not having anything memorized as a way of delivering, just like, okay, so what you're saying is, am I getting whatever so that it fits into the conversation? Let me get this right. Are you saying whatever it is, and then in my own words, saying that back? And also, am I hearing underneath it? Am I hearing you also? Because I am getting the body language and the facial expressions and the voice fluctuations. My intuition is picking up something else. I'm saying, and maybe am I also hearing underneath that you're saying that you're feeling frustrated as well? Just simple, but picking up a little extra here. And in the beginning, when I started doing validation in the beginning, it blew me away how 80% of the time I would be wrong. No, I wasn't saying that. They would say back to me. My ego would just be crushed. Oh, really? What were you saying? Because then if they say no, I have to ask them to please correct me, so that's why I was able to improve. That's why I have been able to improve to where now 80% of the time, it took years for me to be able to exercise that intuitive muscle that was so weak. Now it's stronger. That doesn't mean it's always right. I still get corrected. I still get it wrong and then asked to be corrected. But a lot more of the time, it's right. And what it does is the bond, the intimacy is strengthened, is deeper in the relationship. It's love. It's a form of love that, again, cannot be denied. So shy of doing practical exercises, it's a dip of the toe in the water of what that segment of listening in Malama Aloha Pono is beginning to be all about. And I'm looking forward to more unfolding. Until next time, aloha. And to close, clicking on the thumbs up icon supports Aloha Speaks, as well as clicking on the free subscribe tab. Mahalo.